Without you realizing it, someone in your world has been profoundly affected by your presence. While you move through your life naturally, focused on your own path, there is a person whose inner world has quietly shifted because of you. What started as a passing moment of noticing you has grown into something far more powerful, something that lingers in their mind long after the day ends. To everyone around them, this individual seems completely in control. They are composed, self-assured, and naturally commanding. When they enter a room, people notice. They are the type of person who rarely doubts themselves and almost never feels uncertain about where they stand. Influence, admiration, and respect have always followed them easily. But then you appeared, not with a performance, not with effort, and certainly not by trying to win their attention. You simply carried yourself with a quiet confidence that didn't seek approval from anyone. There was something refreshing about the way you existed in your own space, calm, genuine, and unapologetically real. That authenticity created a ripple in their carefully balanced world, and suddenly, the person who was used to understanding everyone couldn't quite understand you. You didn't react the way most people do around them. You didn't seem overly impressed, intimidated, or eager to please. Instead, you remained centered in yourself, and that independence made you stand out more than anything else ever could. It intrigued them, then it fascinated them, and before they realized it, it began to pull them in. Now you cross their mind more often than you would ever expect. Small moments remind them of you. A conversation, a laugh, even a quiet pause during the day can bring your image back into their thoughts. They try to understand what it is about you that has this effect, yet the answer always slips just out of reach. It isn't just attraction. There is something deeper at work, something instinctive. When they think about you, they feel a strong urge to be close to your world, to support you, to be someone you can rely on. It is a feeling that mixes admiration with a quiet protectiveness. For someone who has always been certain of their own control, these emotions feel unfamiliar. Yet instead of pushing them away, the feeling only grows stronger. The truth is simple, even if they haven't said it aloud. Your presence has awakened something meaningful within them, not because you tried to create that effect, but because the way you exist is rare. Before we dive deeper into the reading, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports the channel and helps me continue sharing these intuitive messages with you. And if this reading resonates with you, drop a heart in the comments below. I truly enjoy reading your comments and connecting with your amazing energy. Before assumptions begin to shape the story, it's worth understanding that this connection isn't rooted in control or possession. The person drawn toward you isn't trying to limit your freedom or step into your life with authority. What they feel is far simpler yet far more meaningful. They want to hold a genuine place in your world, not as someone who directs your choices, but as someone you willingly allow close, someone you trust enough to see the quieter, more private sides of who you are. To them, your presence carries a kind of depth that isn't easy to overlook. There's a calm strength in the way you move through life, a confidence that doesn't ask for attention, yet naturally earns it. While many people try to stand out, you seem comfortable simply existing as you are, and that authenticity leaves a lasting impression. It's the kind of presence that stays in someone's mind long after the conversation ends or the moment passes. Because of that, their interest grows in subtle ways. They begin to notice the details others usually miss, the rhythm of your routines, the tone of your voice when you're relaxed, the familiar faces that appear around you. Their attention isn't careless or accidental, it's thoughtful and observant. If even the smallest path connects their life to yours, they tend to follow it naturally, finding quiet reasons to share the same spaces or remain within the edges of your world. To anyone watching, it might appear like coincidence, but for them, it's simply the result of genuine curiosity and interest. What draws them even closer is your independence. You don't seem to rely on constant validation or attention to feel secure. Your life appears steady within its own rhythm, and you seem content with a small circle rather than a crowd. That quiet self-assurance has a magnetic quality. It doesn't try to impress anyone, yet it leaves a deeper impact than loud confidence ever could. Interestingly, the person who notices you may normally be someone very comfortable in social settings, someone confident, expressive, and used to navigating conversations and groups with ease. Yet around you, that familiar confidence softens. The certainty they usually carry begins to shift slightly, replaced by a rare sense of uncertainty. Instead of pushing them away, that feeling makes the connection even more intriguing to them. In that contrast, your grounded calm and their unexpected vulnerability, something subtle begins to form. It isn't loud or dramatic, and it doesn't demand attention. It's simply a quiet tension that exists beneath ordinary interactions. An unspoken awareness that something meaningful is taking shape. Neither of you may openly acknowledge it, yet somewhere between the shared moments and the quiet observations, both of you can sense that the connection is real and quietly growing. Some people move through the world like they belong to every room they enter, their confidence effortless, their presence noticed without trying. But then, there's you. And when they're near, everything changes. That natural certainty, that ease they carry everywhere else, falters. Every laugh, every glance, every pause between words becomes a quiet spark. Small moments charged with a gravity neither of you can name. It isn't obsession or need. It's a pull, subtle, magnetic, impossible to ignore. They find themselves paying attention to the smallest things, the way your hand gestures mid-sentence, the rhythm of your steps, the faintest changes in your expression. Their mind circles around these details, imagining infinite ways to be closer, to matter more, yet always held back by the unspoken rules they dare not break. Fear, restraint, respect, call it what you will. They hover in the space between longing and silence. And it's not just in thought. Their body notices you before their mind does. A brush of your hand, the tilt of your head, the warmth of your voice, these create reactions that are instinctive, primal, undeniable. Alone, they replay each encounter, feeling it in ways they can't explain. Sensations that linger long after you're gone. It's the kind of attraction that's impossible to ignore, not fleeting, but deep, rooted in something they can't fully name. What makes this different from passing curiosity is the weight behind it. They aren't chasing drama or a momentary thrill. They want significance. They want to matter to you, not just be noticed. Every conversation, every smile, every quiet shared space carries meaning, a sense of potential, a hint of something real and lasting. It's a connection that hums quietly beneath the surface, undeniable yet patient, intense yet controlled, a fire that burns not to consume, but to illuminate what's possible between you. They don't just notice you, they feel you. It's as if your presence rewrites the rhythm of their day, slowing time in the spaces where you exist. Ordinary moments suddenly hum with significance, and even silence between you feels charged. You're not just another person passing through their life. You become a quiet center around which their thoughts, imagination, and even instincts begin to orbit. It's not fleeting attraction or casual curiosity. They sense almost instinctively that you are rare, irreplaceable, a person whose existence reshapes the very way they perceive the world. With you, they become aware of parts of themselves they usually hide. Behind their confident exterior, they discover vulnerability, subtle softness, and desires they've kept carefully contained. You inspire imagination, visions of shared mornings, conversations stretching into the night, laughter spilling into quiet corners, touches that linger beyond reason. These aren't idle fantasies. They are rooted in a longing that feels inevitable, a desire to be present with you in ways both emotional and visceral. What makes the connection irresistible is how deeply you see them. You recognize not only their strengths, but the parts they guard, the nuances of thought and feeling that no one else perceives. That kind of attention doesn't just charm, it awakens protective instinct, tenderness, and a profound desire to preserve what they've found in you. It's a magnetism that grows quietly, almost imperceptibly, until it dominates their focus, yet it carries no pressure, only intensity, reverence, and curiosity. Around you, the world becomes different for them. Their habitual confidence softens, their gestures and tone shift, and the control they usually wield over themselves gives way to authenticity reserved solely for your presence. And in that space, the pull between you forms, not explosive, not chaotic, but steady, undeniable, and profoundly deep. It's a connection that isn't limited to words, to casual attention, or even to longing. It exists in the way you make life feel fuller, richer, and almost impossibly meaningful just by being you. There's a tension between you that isn't loud or obvious. It's a subtle force, like the pull of the tide, steady and inevitable. They feel it in every exchange, every shared space, every silence that stretches just long enough to make the air feel heavier. It's not a casual spark or passing curiosity. It's the quiet recognition that you are extraordinary in a way they cannot ignore. You've become a part of their inner world, woven into the moments they imagine alone. The morning light spilling over routines, laughter echoing in rooms only you occupy together, and the simple comfort of your presence that feels like it could anchor an entire life. You've awakened something within them that has been dormant, a vulnerability wrapped in strength. They find themselves noticing what others overlook, the small details of your gestures, the rhythm of your thoughts, the way your energy shapes the room. And in turn, they begin to respond differently, instinctively, gently, slowing down, leaning in, revealing facets of themselves they normally guard. It's not about control or possession, it's about alignment, about being drawn towards something real and undeniable. And you, too, have shifted. There's a gravity in the way you move now, a clarity that doesn't demand attention, but commands it. You make choices rooted in authenticity, not expectation, and that quiet confidence pulls them in deeper. It's magnetic, almost impossible to resist, and it sparks a subtle reciprocity. The more they lean into it, the more present and alive you feel, and the more they want to match that energy without even trying. What forms between you isn't fleeting desire, it's a profound resonance. It hums beneath the surface, powerful but patient, insistently real. It's in the glances that linger a beat too long, the silences that speak volumes, the shared awareness that something important is unfolding without a single word. It's a connection that promises depth, intimacy, and an unspoken understanding, a force that grows quietly yet leaves an indelible mark, altering the way both of you move through the world and each other's lives. There's an invisible current between you, one that hums quietly but insistently, tugging at the edges of thought and feeling. It's not just attraction, it's recognition, a sense that your energies align in ways both subtle and profound. When someone resonates with you on every level, mind, heart, intuition, it's rare, almost sacred. They feel it in the way your presence shifts the space, in the gravity of your voice, in the rhythms of your laughter and silence. Losing it, even momentarily, feels impossible. They are deliberate, patient, and thoughtful, not because they're cautious, but because they understand the value of what's unfolding. Every action, every decision, every quiet choice is a preparation, a way of showing up whole, steady, and intentional when the time comes to reveal the depth of what they feel. It isn't about impressing or performing. It's about matching the authenticity, strength, and clarity you bring into the world naturally. To them, you are extraordinary in ways no one else is. They notice the small, often unnoticed things, the way your presence brightens a room, the steadiness of your energy, the way you carry yourself without seeking validation. That quiet power, that authenticity, creates a magnetic pull they can't resist. And in response, their own walls begin to soften. Vulnerabilities emerge, tender instincts awaken, and the parts of them that are normally hidden step forward, not as a concession, but as a gift to the connection they sense with you. This connection isn't one-dimensional. It moves across layers. Mentally, it sparks insight and curiosity. Emotionally, it creates space for understanding and empathy. Physically, it generates tension, warmth, and desire that feels electric yet natural. Spiritually, it carries a sense of purpose, as if your meeting was meant to recalibrate the paths you both are walking. Together, these threads form something rare, alive, persistent, transformative, and deeply resonant. Soon, a moment will arrive where everything shifts. They will step forward to reveal the depth of their feelings, the clarity of their intentions, and the sincerity of the life they envision alongside you. But the choice to meet that revelation, to respond, to allow it in, rests entirely in your hands. It is a crossroads not dictated by circumstance, chance, or expectation, but by your intuition, your growth, and the life you are consciously building. In the stillness of that choice, you hold the power to honor your own path, your own values, and the unique connection that has quietly become impossible to ignore. There's a quiet energy around you now, one that reshapes the world in ways most people barely notice, but they do. It's not loud or demanding. It doesn't announce itself, but it pulls subtly and irresistibly, drawing attention without seeking it. People sense it, but only those attuned to depth truly feel its weight. You move with a deliberate grace, speak with intention, and choose your path with a clarity that comes from understanding who you are. That presence is magnetic, not because it demands recognition, but because it radiates authenticity, self-possession, and confidence that is earned, not performed. Someone has felt that current, and it has unsettled them in the most compelling way. They notice the subtleties, the small movements, the quiet rhythms of your life, the patterns of thought and energy that most overlook. They don't want to control you. They don't need to possess you. They are captivated because they recognize something rare, something they can't simply replicate or replace. And that awareness sparks something intense, a longing that is both steady and urgent, a desire to be closer, to matter in ways that are meaningful rather than superficial. This tension between you is layered and evolving. Mentally, it is a meeting of thought and curiosity. Ideas spark, reflections mirror each other, and your presence challenges them to see and think differently. Emotionally, it's deeper still. There is a sense of understanding, a quiet acknowledgement of each other's complexities, a space where vulnerability is allowed and even welcomed. Physically, there's an undercurrent of magnetism, an energy that makes proximity feel charged, alive, almost electric. And on a subtler level, it feels as though fate or destiny itself has nudged your paths together, aligning timing, circumstances, and intention in ways that neither of you could fully explain. They are preparing, but not recklessly. Every action they take, every word left unsaid, every choice to pause instead of rushing is a reflection of care, respect, and the gravity they assign to what is unfolding. They understand that connection isn't about noise, pressure, or dramatics. It's about resonance, patience, and depth. In their mind, they imagine ordinary and extraordinary moments with you. Mornings filled with quiet laughter, conversations stretching into the night, small gestures of presence that build a rhythm of togetherness. And beyond imagination, they see possibilities, shared milestones, whispered promises, and a life shaped in ways that reflect alignment rather than compromise. Meanwhile, you're evolving too. You've moved into a space where your own presence commands its own gravity. You don't chase or bend. You don't compromise your standards for validation. Instead, you create a life that is steady, intentional, and aligned with your values. That alignment is visible, tangible, and magnetic. It draws people, opportunities, and experiences that match your depth naturally, without effort. It shifts the energy of everyone around you because they recognize that what they're encountering is not temporary, superficial, or performative. It's real, earned, and unshakable. And yet, nothing is forced. The pull, the tension, the unspoken possibilities, all of it hums quietly beneath the surface, building toward a moment that feels inevitable. When that moment arrives, it won't feel sudden or shocking. It will feel like the natural unfolding of something that has been quietly forming from the start, a culmination of presence, awareness, and energy that has been steadily aligning over time. Words will be spoken, intentions revealed, and clarity will emerge. But the choice of how to respond, how to move forward, rests entirely with you. It is a reflection of your intuition, your growth, and the life you are consciously shaping. This is more than attraction. It is recognition, resonance, and reflection combined. A connection that operates across thought, emotion, presence, and spirit. It's a force that grows quietly but relentlessly, leaving a mark on both people, altering how they move through the world and shaping the lives they are building. And when you step fully into it, the energy doesn't just surround you, it transforms the world around you, drawing in exactly what belongs, leaving behind what doesn't, and establishing a rhythm that is deep, enduring, and impossible to ignore. This isn't fleeting. It isn't superficial. It is the alignment of timing, presence, intention, and authenticity. A rare and powerful force that changes not just the connection between two people, but the way both live, move, and see themselves in the world. And when the next step is taken, it will feel not like a decision made in haste, but the inevitable continuation of a story that was quietly building long before either of you realized it.